Abraham sojourned in the land of the Pelishtim many days. Bereshith, Genesis chapter 22 in the Lawful Literal version. And it was after these things that the God did prove Abraham, and said to him, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son, whom thou lovest, even Yitzhak, and get thee into the land of the Moriah, and offer him there for an ascending offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Yitzhak his son, and he clave the wood for the ascending offering, and rose up, and went toward the place of which the God had told him. On the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes, and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said to his young men, Abide ye here with the donkey, and I and the lad will go yonder, and we will worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the ascending offering, and laid it upon Yitzhak his son, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife, and they went both of them together. And Yitzhak spoke to Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for an ascending offering? And Abraham said, God will provide himself the lamb for an ascending offering, my son. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place which the God had told him of. And Abraham built the altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Yitzhak his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And Yahweh's messenger called to him out of the skies, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything to him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes, and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him up for an ascending offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Yahweh Yireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of Yahweh it shall be seen. And Yahweh's messenger called to Abraham a second time out of the skies, and said, By myself have I sworn, the thing declared of Yahweh, because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the skies, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it was after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Melekah, she also hath borne children to thy brother Nahor, Oth his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Kashith, and Hazau, and Paladash, and Yedlaf, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 did Milcah bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And his concubine, whose name was Rumah, she also bare Tabah, and Gaham, and Tochosh, and Maacah. And the life of Sarah was 100 years, and 20 years, and 7 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Qariat Harabor, the same is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah, and to weep for her.